Before we get started here, I want to remind everyone to subscribe and sign up for all notifications on this channel. This channel is restricted by YouTube, so I'm counting on you to help us survive YouTube's anti-2A bias. All right, everybody, we got a guest today. Can you hear me?
Say that again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you in and out, though. You're a little in and out.
Okay, well, I'm just going to let you talk right now. So just tell everybody who you are and then tell us what you're here to say.
Okay, this my first time, so I'm kind of teary at it. Do I just start talking now, or?
Yeah, just like tell us who you are, what you wanted to come in and say, etc.
Okay, yeah, a little nervous. First time ever doing it. I'm speaking on, like, I think one of your last videos. First of all, I'm a fan of yours. I've been watching you for years. The last video where you were speaking on the problems in the Black community, I would find it a lot better if, a lot of times people go on talking points, but they never reach out to a Black person who foundational Black American, my descendants of slaves, to ask them what's going on in the community, because people tend to, and I'm sure you know it, the media tends to say what it wants to say when it wants to say it, and project whatever emotions or feelings they would like to project on the community.
Mm-hmm.
But if you ever just sat down and talk with us, you'll find out it's a different story. So one statement you made about child support, uh, a lot of, and actually statistics show that Black men tend to pay their child support. Now, there's a exemption where a certain group of people will not pay. It doesn't matter what they do. And again, like with the t-shirts, uh, we're not the only ones that do things like that, but for some reason we're singled out. Uh, Another thing referring to, you were talking about, maybe where I could be wrong, but like I said, you mentioned something about the music we listen to. I think maybe you did or didn't. More white people purchase that rap music. And to me, now I grew up on rap music. I'm a retired bus driver. I did my 32 years and got out when I could. But a lot of times when we do something, it's dramatized so heavy. Like they say, black on black crime. Whatever vicinity you live in, who's closest to you, that's going to be who does the most crime in the area to you.
Mm-hmm.
White people kill white people, Mexican kill Mexicans. And my final thing, because it's slipping again, a little under pressure. You made a statement on why in our community a lot of times things happen but don't happen in the Asian American communities and other ethnicities. Uh, if you go back through and it's a easy Google search. Anytime Black people were thriving and doing well, excuse me, but the government, white Americans, will come in and destroy it. And they got all type of land, what they took from us. I mean, Tulsa is one, one somewhere in Florida, same thing happened. So if you come to us and talk, you can find out what's going on with us rather than speculate. You can go from there because I done lost a lot of things I was going to bring up, but if you speak, maybe to come
Well,
back to me.
maybe they'll come back to you. But what I was saying about pay your child support, that was to everybody. I was saying that to
Okay.
everybody in my chat. I was like, I don't, because I hear excuses from people all the time, mostly white people, because I know mostly white people, who say, I'm not paying my child support because the mama doesn't do what she's supposed to do with the money, etc. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. Pay your child support, take a place in your child's life. And if she's not doing what she's supposed to do with the money, take her to court, get the payment stopped, take custody of the child, whatever. But pay your child support. I don't want to hear, well, I'm not paying my child support because the baby mama doesn't give me access to my kids. Take her to court, get access to your kids. And until you get access, no stuff.
Quick point on that. Okay, I can agree on what you're saying, but in the conversation you were speaking on black people. When you said it, it seemed like it pointed directly toward us. So you can go ahead though.
Oh, well, it probably does because I jump from topic to topic quite a bit. And that's one of my hot buttons. So if I'm talking about it in the black community, that's the way I feel about every person in every community. Pay your fucking child support. I don't want to hear reasons why you don't. I don't want to hear reasons why you're not involved in your kid's life because the mother is a pain in the ass. It's your kid. If it's my kid, I don't care if the mother threatens me with a shotgun every time I show up. I'm going to show up with the sheriff, let them take her, and then I'll take my kids. I'm not going to let someone stand between me and my kids. And I feel that way for everybody. Now, my mother-in-law worked for child services. I worked in child services for years. And I also worked in child protective services in Alabama. And I will say that at least there, black men don't pay their child support. Period. Of course, most men who have to pay child support, a lot of them don't pay child support. There's more white men not paying child support than there are black men. But there's a bigger percentage of black men not paying their child support than white men. And I do believe it is somewhat cultural that nowadays people think, well, I just got to have multiple kids. White guys, black guys, but it started more in the black community. They talk about their fucking legacy. They got to leave their legacy. I'm like, well, if you're not taking care of your kids, the only legacy you're leaving is that you're a worthless piece of shit. But when I worked at CPS in child services, believe me, most of our clientele was black in Huntsville, Alabama. That's just the way it was. Because it was a southern town. It's in Alabama, but it's an engineering town, a space industry town. So there's two classes of people there. There's poor black people and engineers. That seems like that's most of the population of the city. So maybe I'm a little skewed on that, but I think that one of the problems in culture right now, well, in this generation, kids aren't even wanting children anymore. White kids don't even want to have kids. I don't know about black kids right now, but I'm seeing with white children that they don't even want children. Even seeing it with my kids. They don't even want serious relationships, much less children. But growing up, working in the system, I've seen so many black men who care more about it's Nick Cannon. Let's just call it Nick Cannon syndrome. How many kids does he got? You know,
he does have a lot, but see, again, when you sing it out like that, because that's his niche, he's doing it to make money, and at the same time, he has a lot of kids, but you don't hear any of the mothers complaining about him not taking care of them.
No,
that's the thing. You can have his. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He can afford it. Yeah.
So again, that's what I'm getting to. So if he has a lot of kids and they're being taken care of, I mean, it shouldn't even be brought up. Another thing I think you spoke on was like the gun violence in the black communities. The funny thing about it is in the 80s, crack cocaine devastated the black community. Mm-hmm. The cocaine came from overseas into the black community. And it's documented that it was based on the CIA taking it directly to our communities. So it causes us to go to jail more, prison terms, things like that for either using, selling. Okay, but at the same time, the opioid crisis hit here, and it was a totally different thing. They didn't arrest and put anybody in jail for using opioids or even the pharmaceutical companies for putting it in there. They wanted to help the I'm gonna say Caucasian, But the funny thing is, when it was us, they got a crime bill. They did the 3 strikes you out. They did everything they could to put their foot on our necks. But then when there was an epidemic with the opioids and the white people ODing on the street, now all of a sudden, hey, we gotta help them. We gotta save them. And it's like, okay, right in front of, how do you guys not see the differences they show is what I don't get. It's like, it's right in front of you. You go ahead now.
I see the difference. Believe me, I see the difference. That's like one of the things I mentioned in that video, if you pay attention, is I was like, every time black communities or any community of a minority starts to have progress, they start to build something for themselves, the government comes in, tears it down. And they do that because anytime a minority starts to build a society that is functioning without the white overlords taking care of it, it's a threat to the status quo.
Yeah,
and they will wipe it out. And I don't think it's racial. I think nowadays it's more classism than it is racism. Back in the day, it was racism. Now it's rich people don't want poor people getting ahead. Back in the day, it was white people didn't want black people getting ahead. That's why I say that's why they did stuff like, oh, that's why felons. That's one of the reasons I don't like the laws about why felons can't have guns. I'm like, you understand that that was only enacted so that people in the South could keep black people from owning guns, because they said, well, we can't say black people can't own guns because the Supreme Court just said we can't do that, but we can say felons can't own guns. So we'll just pick up every black person we see, charge them with something, give them a slap on the wrist and put them out with a record, and now they can't own a gun.
Yeah, and that happened in a lot of situations. Actually, with marijuana, so-called, we're going to say others. I'm going to refer to me as black. My group is black, and we say others. Back with marijuana, they were trying to figure out a way to destroy the black community. That's why they put marijuana on a Title I, meaning the abuse of marijuana is worse. And I don't smoke weed, but they say the abuse of marijuana is worse than heroin, which however is pronounced. But it's funny that the drug that we were using, not me personally, but I'm saying we as a group, marijuana, how does that become worse than heroin? No one has ever OD'd on marijuana ever, but and even now the feds won't take it off I guess it's the Title I list, whichever way it goes.
They tease it every now and then, but then they don't do it.
Say that again.
So they tease it every now and then, but then they don't do it.
Well, see, and that's okay. I'm not a Democrat or Republican. Actually, I hate them both because I feel they both garbage, But the thing about it is, they say things in order to get you to vote for them. Trump promised all these new gun laws, and all he did was take off the $200 tax stamp on some weapons. Biden promised higher wages, a bunch of things. So, well, I'm going off on a tangent there, but it's nice talking to you, because right now I'm not thinking too well on what it is. But I would just like, again, I'm willing to come in anytime. But the thing about it is, you will see, like, I'm gonna give you a prime example of how crime is judged differently. You about me and you about the same age. I'm close to 58 in a few days. Mike Tyson and one of the Kennedys, I don't remember which one it was, right about the same time, they both had got a rape charge. Tyson went to jail. The jurors were saying they're like royalty to us. It was same circumstances. One person said it happened, the other person said it didn't happen. And it's like, okay, they don't see this. And then another thing, and I'm gonna throw this out as a side note. Trayvon Martin. Okay, this kind of deep, and I'm bringing this up. Say that again.
I got a lot of heat for being one of the few channels.
Yeah, you were on the right side, and Philando Castile, you were on the right side.
Yeah.
But I'm bringing up how Trayvon Martin was a person at night walking by himself. A person armed chased him. It's documented. Zimmerman chased him. Then the black man runs, ends up dead, and somehow the story, which again, the one who survived gets to tell the story. But
that's the reason they gave for not convicting him. Because we'll never know, because and I'm like, there's what he admitted to was enough reason to not be on his
right. God, you know what? I gotta respect you, because a lot of people, I didn't call a lot of the right-wing talk show, and you're not right-wing. I know, I done followed you long enough. You lean conservative, I know that, but a lot of the right-wing shows, they'll edit you, or change the subject completely. But I respect you. That's why I had to call in, and it wasn't a threat when I say interview someone black. But what I was saying is, let the blacks speak for themselves. I'm sorry, say that again.
I said, I welcome the chance. And I wanted to address something you just said about the Tyson and Kennedy difference. Well, there's two totally big difference there also you didn't touch on, is that Kennedy's white and rich. White laws don't apply to rich white people very well. And people don't want to see rich white people suffer. Whereas with Tyson, when they see someone Tyson, he's black and rich. And
big and black.
A lot of people have the attitude of how dare he be black and rich both. I want to see him fall because I don't like the fact that he became rich as a black man. So I want to see the black man get it in the end. I want to see him fall off the pedestal, whereas they want to keep the white rich guy on the pedestal because that benefits them later too.
Okay, see what you just said gonna mess around and get you canceled. So I'm gonna get off right now. And I enjoyed talking to you, guy. I really did.
Well, thanks for coming in.
Okay, and you have a good day. All right.
All right, same to you.
Yep.
All right. Did he figure out how?
Okay, I don't know how to get out of it. I'm trying, so this is my first time.
All right, come back anytime.
Okay, yep.
Hey everybody, Yankee here. Just quickly, I want to say that if you've watched this far in the video, hopefully by now you understand the tongue-in-cheek satire of the title. You know it was a bad attempt at humor, and you know it was to illustrate the point that our guest made, that often when a black man does anything, the media portrays it as negative, whether it's positive or not. And anytime a black man does do something negative, it's blown all out of proportion and made to seem like it's the entire community. We see that sometimes as gun owners to a lesser degree. So we should have a little bit of an understanding of that. Also, I wanted to thank him for coming on and setting me straight when he thought I said something stupid, because I say stupid stuff all the time, and I like it when people come in and hold me accountable, especially when I didn't mean to say something stupid. I just strung 6 unrelated thoughts together and it comes out wrong, especially if I get on a rant. So always stand up and be a voice for what you think is right. He came in my chat tonight, said he thought I said something stupid the other day and he wanted to address it as a black man, because that's one of the problems we have in the gun community. There's not enough minority representation. It's too often a bunch of white guys sitting around talking about other groups' issues. So I want to see more minority voices, women, gays, blacks, etc. I don't think there's enough of that in the gun community, and because of that, a lot of bad voices get to be heard all the time, and no one stands up to them. Because they're like, well, it's just a minority of people. And plus, if I say something, the rest of the online gun community will jump all over me. Don't ever not say what's right because you fear what trolls are going to do. They are worthless, impotent, pissant little pieces of shit. Don't ever not stand up for what's right because what you think a troll might do. What do you got to do? Delete some comments? It's not hard. Ignore them. They're not worth the time. Always stand up for what's right, especially in the gun community, especially if you're a minority voice. And I want everyone to feel like my channel is a place where you are safe to do that. I hope our guest tonight felt safe doing that. And I hope any guest in the future that wants to call me out or say something they think might not be popular, but what they think is right, I hope they think my channel is a place they can safely say that, because they have faith in my audience to be better than a lot of the people in the gun community. So that's all I wanted to say. Like I said, the title was kind of facetious, kind of tongue-in-cheek, bad humor, and it was to make a point. That conversation was awesome. I hope to have more with that same person in the future, and I would love to hear him weigh in more in the future. And I hope we start seeing more people stand up and say what they think is right, especially if you're correcting me on something stupid I said, because like I said, I say a lot of stupid things, and keeping me in line would be a full-time job. And I hope a lot of you are not only up to it, I hope you feel comfortable doing it. Just come in the chat, let me know, and I'll make time for you to be heard.